Hello, everybody. Aditya Birla Sun Life AMC has come up with a new ETF, Aditya Birla Sun Life Silver ETF. Now, this ETF will invest in physical silver and silver related instruments. To take this ahead with us, we have Mr. A Balasubramanian, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Aditya Birla Sun Life AMC Limited. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Asta. Thanks for having me part of your show.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, starting with the first question, what is Aditya Birla Sun Life Silver ETF and where exactly is it going to invest?
The silver ETF is akin to a gold ETF, giving an opportunity for investors to invest in silver without in a physical form, but in the electronic format through the mutual fund unit. You'll have a security for investing in silver. And whatever the money that we'll be getting in the silver ETF would be invested in silver in a physical format that will be stored in a custodian format, in way I think gold is also stored, and we become the custodian of the silver through the silver ETF units. There is one way of giving an opportunity for investors to own silver in a Demat format, the way I think they own securities in stock market. The same way silver ETF also will be function from an investor's point of view.
Got it. Okay, now can you explain to our viewers what are the varied applications of silver and what are the benefits of investing in silver through the ETF route, which I think is not very common?
See, silver is like a precious metal, right? The sense gold and silver are one of the most sought after household investment. I think every household in the country wants to have investments in silver and also gold. And silver is actually one other part, I think, being considered by everybody. Second, silver also has an industrial metal. If you take automobiles, if you take electrical vehicles, or if you take even the renewable energy, the panel that they make, everywhere there's an element of silver is also used because silver is a conductor, and therefore is also used actually as one of the industrial metal. Unlike gold, which is not industrial metal, but silver is industrial metal. Therefore, the demand supply for silver will come from two angles. One is industrial demand on one side. Second is the demand that will come from every household, not just as a silverware which you keep at home, even silver jewelries. So the two type of demand comes. From a customer point of view, investor's point of view, you of course make investment in silver as part of your normal savings of your investment that you make between silver and gold. Therefore, silver is also one of the items in which you make investment. So when you buy a silver by yourself, you have to, of course, buy and then either you buy silver vessels and so on and so forth, keep it in a cupboard, and silver bar, you keep it in a cupboard, and you have to preserve it and save it. And there is no storage risk here. When you buy the silver ETF, there is no storage risk. But as and when you want to buy a silver against that investment that you make, you can simply withdraw the silver ETF money and then go and buy silver ETF the same value and the same time available in the market. So there is an element of that the market price linked to silver ETF in terms of valuation. At the same time, it is in the not in the physical form. Therefore, you get the benefit of not willing to store in your house. At the same time, continue to make a large pool of investment in silver for your future benefit as well as part of the asset allocation.
Got it. Okay. And what drives the value of silver?
See, what drives the value of silver is the demand supply, right? So the demand supply is coming from one, you and me as a consumer willing to buy. If you look at generally in silver in India, the prices go up during the festival season. I think the marriage season in India, most of the people buy gold and silver as part of the spending that they do on marriage function, right?
Yeah,
that's one aspect of it, which is a demand coming from you and me as a consumer or maybe users. The second demand is come from the industrial activities. I think we are at a stage post 2 years of pandemic. The whole economic growth is likely to come back pretty big time the next few years.
Right.
Second, the kind of investment that is being foreseen in creating renewable energy, basically the making the solar panels and so on and so forth, are now becoming increasingly the new way of driving the new economic growth. Electric vehicles are now becoming the new economic growth, which is the automobile space. So such a thing which is coming in, basically the industrial level activities go up. If the industrial level activities go up, demand for silver goes up. If there's no corresponding production, because silver you have to do a mining, because it's also come from, it's also a byproduct of when you make copper. It's one of the byproduct actually is the silver. See, suppose there is not much demand for copper, then byproduct will also be less. Therefore, the demand supply situation, I think, seems to be more in favor of the silver prices to go up. And that's something which is being estimated even for many years to come. And therefore, it's that in that context, if you look at, silver has got some bit of pull factor, I would say, in addition to a simple saving that we make on silver.
Absolutely, got it. Now, a lot of people in India still keep silver in physical form at their home or in banks. So what are the benefits of investing in silver digitally for investors?
I think the huge benefit that we get in the sense that today, as an individual, when I buy a physical silver, first, of course, I need to look at where will I keep it. So I need to, of course, keep it safely in a lock and key at home. But still, you have a doubt, or maybe you have some kind of suspicion: is it safe, and so on and so forth. So silver ETF is something is actually completely removes the fear. You can save as much you want. Whereas when you buy a physical silver, you'll always think twice before you're buying large quantum of silver. So if you want to buy a 1 kg of silver, you'll always think twice. Whereas in the case of silver ETF, you can put as much money as you want, and have it like in a Demat format, the way you hold your fixed deposit, the way you hold your equity shares in a Demat account. The same way silver ETF also you can hold it in the Demat account. I think that's something instead of holding in physical format, you'll hold it in Demat form, electronic form. Therefore, it takes you the pain of storage fear. At the same time, you can actually make more investment in silver ETF if it is in Demat format, given the fact that completely takes away the worry of physical format and storage and so on and so forth. And that's something can be converted into a large pool of investment can go to silver ETF as part of the total asset allocation that they have between fixed deposit and the equity market investment that we make, mutual fund investment that we make, and also the investment that we make in gold and other asset classes. The silver ETF could also become one of the asset class which Indian investors are used to saving. See, all of us used to put money in silver in some form or other. That can be actually held in the form of a Demat form.
Got it. Okay, and when it comes to precious metals, gold and silver, from the historical point of view, which of these has acted better as a hedge against inflation?
See, both asset classes remains, gold and silver. Of course, gold has got a better performance given the fact that gold you have to mine and that's something has been happening for long. The demand for gold in the form of jewelry is far higher than silver. There's absolutely no doubt. At the same time, silver demand actually is coming from not just only jewelry, silverware that people keep at home. At the same time, industrial activities also has got a greater usage of silver. So the demand supply situation actually for silver can actually vary significantly on the basis of industrial recovery that could happen. Therefore, the price movements can be actually completely different. And that's being the case, silver as an asset class, while it of course gives you a hedge against inflation, it also gives a huge upside if there is a significant pickup in the industrial activities, which may or may not be the case in the case of gold.
Got it. Okay. One final question before we close now. What is the investment horizon an investor should be looking at before investing in this fund?
See, silver ETF, I think any other investment, it has to be for long term. And I mean long term, you have to consider about 3 to 5 years kind of investment. Nobody actually buys a silver in a physical format for the purpose of trading. It's an investment that you make. You don't even look at the value of the silver that you have it at home on a daily basis, the way you measure your success in the stock market. The same thing that you do in the case of gold. Therefore, if you go by that approach, then silver ETF is an investment. You must keep it for long term. It could be for 5 years or 10 years kind of period. And since there is no wealth tax attached to this, and there is an indexation benefit that you'll get in the longer term investing, therefore, you must keep this investment as long as possible that you can keep.
Got it. Understood. Well, thank you so much, sir. Once again, it was a pleasure to have you with us. We do wish you all the very best for this ETF. Thank you so much for joining in.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Asta.
Thank you.
Brokerage shall not exceed SEBI specified limit. Investment in securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.